Hello, I'm Mike Watt. I'm talking to an empty room and continuing our series on Exploitation Nation magazine. I'm going to talk to you about number 10, which is our comedy issue. And look at that cover. This hands down one of my favorite covers of this by Philip R. Rogers, based on a sketch that I had come up with. I'm going to show you how dumb this sketch is too. This is the sketch that I sent Phil to turn into this. Taking Thalia and Melpomene and turning them into mass murders. I just thought this was terrific, and this to me solidifies in my mind what this magazine is about. I think I say that on every issue, don't I? Well, I'm going to say it again. Contributors this issue: Dr. Rhonda, Carmine Capobianco, Mike Householder, Jason Lane, filmmaker Michael Legge, author Andrew J. Walsh, filmmaker and film historian Terry Tom, author and filmmaker Douglas Waltz, film historian Bill Watt, and filmmaker and historian Justin Wingenfeld. We're all historians because we ourselves have been part of history, so we're not giving that part up. This is probably the most serious analysis of comedy, of not just underground comedy, subversive comedy, and comedy in general. Interviews in this one include James Lorenz, who I have bullied into being my friend over the years. James is an amazing guy. He's the star of Frankenhooker. We have a big, long interview about his career, including his time on City with Valerie Harper, and here's him having sex with Sandra Bullock and Who Do I Gotta Kill. We talk about him getting his suits messed up with Alan Arkin and the Jerky Boys. I just had a terrific time. James is he's very funny, and it's a darn good interview to kick things off. Mike Legge, if you don't know, is a indie filmmaker who specialized in comedy with things like Dr. Drek and Honey Glaze and Loons and Cutthroats. We're talking about what makes comedy funny, and why it doesn't always work for someone, and why comedy is harder to do in a lot of cases than horror. I start with Lenny Bruce and Paul Krasner's Fuck Communism, because the people I admire came from National Lampoon and Hustler and a lot of the undergrounds and subversion. So that's where we start there. I had a good time focusing on the Goons because I'm an Anglophile and can be pretentious in that way. But who doesn't love Spike Milligan? If you don't love Spike Milligan, I don't want to hear from you. I really don't. My dad did a piece on the Firesign Theater that Phil Proctor actually approved of. And here in the center, I have interviewed Josh Miller and Pat Casey, who were the screenwriters on Sonic the Hedgehog. However, they were also the screenwriters on Hey Stop Stabbing Me, which was a movie I handled for Sub Rosa, and got to know those guys way, way back in the day. And the fact that they did this hilarious Hey Stop Stabbing Me for $4.50 as the screenwriters on Sonic the Hedgehog, and you can hear little jokes here and there from Hey Stop Stabbing Me, is just a nice little shout out. It's really wonderful when the indie guys make it big. There's some pieces on Get Crazy. There's Andrew Walsh helped me land in a piece of an interview with Alan Arkish so we could talk about Heartbeeps and Get Crazy. Justin Wingenfeld does a terrific deep dive into Where's Papa, George Siegel, and Ruth Gordon, and is unpleasant and insane and hilarious and wrong. And it's the cruelty of, which is a terrible word, of Michael O'Donoghue, someone else I admire, but I'm really glad I never met in person. Again, it's when we stick to the theme, we really try to exploit it. It's a way of constructing and deconstructing what we love and why we love it. And we don't do it in a pretentious way. At least I don't think so. I don't think I come off as pretentious, but if I were pretentious, would I know? Anyway, that's issue 10. At some point, I'm going to have a poster of this made up. I really love this cover. I will talk to you guys soon. Exploitation-nation.com. I'm supposed to say subscribe if you like. No one's holding a gun to your head. If you like this, you're going to keep watching. You don't need me to tell you.